Uhuru Kenyatta has launched several flagship manufacturing projects under the Big Four agenda. The blend of manufacturing projects launched by the president cut across various manufacturing subsectors, including agro-processing, pharmaceutical industry, textile and leather industries, vehicle assembly, iron and steel, ICT, as well as oil, mining and gas industry. Among some of the key manufacturing projects that President Uhuru Kenyatta has recently launched and which are aimed at contributing significantly to job creation include the 4 billion Kenya shillings worth light weapons manufacturing plant at Ruiru, the plant, which has estimated production capacity of 12,000 assault rifles, is poised to source up to 60% of its raw materials locally, creating a huge market for domestic producers. In April 2021, President Uhuru Kenyatta presided over the launch of nanotechnology and semiconductor manufacturing facility at Dedan Kimathi University. Kenya's maiden entry into the nanotechnology industry underscored the president's grand foresight for the country. According to the industry insiders, global semiconductor and nanotechnology industry is bound to increase multiple-fold in the next few years as demand for artificial intelligence continues to grow exponentially.
This is going to be the future for us to be able to now make our own motherboards, and from making our own motherboards to making our own television sets, to making our own mobile telephones. These are all new opportunities that are all going to be created from this seemingly very small but very critical foundation towards our manufacturing agenda for our republic.
Also significant in the series of manufacturing projects launched by President Uhuru Kenyatta is opening of the Kenya Shipyard Limited in Kisumu City. The president officially opened the shipbuilding and repair yard in May 2021. The facility has yards both in Kisumu and Mombasa and is expected to ramp up building of new ships and repair of the existing ones to cope up with the demands for water transport within the Great Lakes region. The facility is also expected to create direct and indirect jobs to the local populations. Both bilateral and public-private partnerships remains vital in ensuring Kenya achieves its manufacturing growth goals as projected in the Big Four agenda, and Kenyans should continue supporting these flagship projects as they portend a better socio-economic growth now and in the future.
Viewers, thank you very much. Welcome to Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting live from Nairobi and Mombasa. This morning, live from Mombasa, we are going to look at the legacy of the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. For the last 4 years, we have been looking at his legacy, maintaining all the records that he has had, he has done, achievements, the obstacles, the challenges that we have seen in this implementation of the Big Four agenda. And as you know very well, it is coming to the last hour that we must say and explain to the people of Kenya that it is a time when he has delivered a legacy that has been delivered. There are people who have watered down some of the achievements. But if there is anybody across Kenya whose village has no grader, where the road is not being broken down, where building is not coming up, we would like to see you'd like to see exactly that person can come up and tell us whether he lives on planet Earth or he lives on planet Venus. You can see somewhere in Kenya where there is no road being constructed as a result of the Big Four agenda, the infrastructure, the food security, the manufacturing, the universal health care. If there is no hospital changing anywhere across Kenya, tell me, I will give you some 1,000 bob for free. not because you have better. Across the continent of Africa, so many people want to see what is happening in Kenya. Some countries don't have even one single road, and yet you find their budgets have a lot of money. But President Uhuru Kenyatta, for the last 9 years, which are coming to an end in 36 days to go, he has a legacy. He will leave a legacy for the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya have been told lies. The people of Kenya have been distorted. The people of Kenya have been told that Uhuru has not delivered. The people of Kenya look at the cost of price, the prices of goods, but they don't see the price that there is something that in this administration, investment for the future. You will need roads in order to take your avocado. Avocados from Muranga grow, but where will you export them? Avocados from all parts of Kenya. People are talking of exporting snakes, like a Wajakoya. But where will Wajakoya take the snakes? How will you transport those snakes to the port? You need Kenyatta's infrastructure. Kenyatta has laid a background of infrastructure. Believe me or not, like it or not, hate him or not, it is up to you. The man has delivered the road. There are some places in Kenya where you could not travel. There are some places in Kenya since 1884, the partitioning of Africa. You find that in some places in Kenya, there was no grader that had passed there. Look at the road, the express highway. The colonial master made sure that we are caged in. Nairobi is fortified. Have you ever found out why there are police stations at all entry points in Nairobi? Look at your police station where they are situated. Look at the situation, the locations of your police station. That is how we were brought up from 1884. The colonial boundaries took us there. Kenya has been a place where some places could not be dug, where a road could not pass. But Uhuru Kenyatta broke the soil and passed through a main, one of the longest express highway. The only thing that I advise Kenyans is drive nicely. Don't drink and drive on the highway because you might be flying instead of driving. So thank you very much, President Uhuru Kenyatta. Today is a great day. We symbolize the beginning of our project towards Western Kenya. We have started this from the coastal town of Mombasa, where Port Mombasa was very instrumental for the development of the entire East Africa. Port Mombasa, as you know, was found, and when Captain Sir Lugard arrived here, that's why you see Ruto copying a manifesto from Captain Lugard, wanting to turn Kenya into a commercial state of mafia. And that is why he doesn't see the importance of these projects. That's why he lies to the people of Kenya that Uhuru is taking the port up to Naivasha. Yes, even when the colonialists came, they dug a railway up to Kasese. Can we reason today with Ruto? And unfortunately, his reasoning capacity is very small and minute. And he cannot reason with men with substance. He can only reason with hooligans who intend to uproot people and tell them to leave their homes, who intend to poke people's eyes, break people's necks. Uhuru might not speak this, but for us friends of Uhuru like me, I'll speak out. When you insulted the president, Ruto, not even in Nairobi, but in London we shall meet. Unatisha watu sana hapa Kenya. Lakini iko wengine wako bigger than you like us. Tumekuwa miaka 37 wewe Ruto. Wengine tunajua what you are doing, but we are keeping quiet because of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. But you continue insulting him again. It is not very good, going to be very good. Ruto can play his politics. This is his country. But this country exists with us and with all of us in East Africa. 28, I'm bringing this to show the legacy. Stop violence. I'm doing this because in my village where I come from, Uganda, I have 28 Kikuyus. Some are on my land. One of my peers in this hall has gone there. He can tell you they are there. They have taken it over. I've given them for free. They said they will not come back here. They are doing their M-Pesa from Uganda because of the violence that Ruto instigated in the Rift Valley. And we are not going to keep quiet and allow him again to start these gymnastics by not explaining his manifesto. Mr. Ruto, you have a long journey. There are friends of Uhuru Kenyatta like me who will never budge. And I remember those days when your lips were white in the ICC. I removed you. I was the only one who stood by you. Everybody rejected you, including your wife there, was about to reject you. And Ruto, remember on that day when I came and sat with you and your wife on the table plus 6 others, you remember what I told you, that this is over, like what Jesus said, it is over. And you never went back to the Hague. So today don't pose around and brag around as if you also know how you got out. Just have to play with other international operators like me. Saruto, you can take your presidency, but it could be your internal short-lived presidency if you win at all. If you don't see the legacy, Mr. Ruto would have sailed through without any problem. Had he stuck on the legacy strength of Uhuru Kenyatta, Kenyans don't speak out. They fear. They fear the Ocampo. Ocampo was going to take their 6 people. I came, one single Ugandan. I finished Ocampo. Where is Ocampo today? Where is Ocampo today? Ruto telling me Ocampo is done. But when you go and insulting Uhuru Kenyatta and you think we are going to keep quiet, stupid. You are very stupid also. Come for some of us. And they all Farouk there who threatens the people around here. Aka. Mjue kutoka leo. Ruto, mjua na Uhuru ako na watu. Because he's a president, he cannot come to insult each other down the earth. But we're also street boys. And we don't want to go that route. Some of us have been street boys since 1978. Where were you, Ruto? You were born in 1966. Look at this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have several projects that we have lined up on the coast, including Ruto's Dolphin Hotel. And one of the correspondents should be lining up in the water there. I will escort him myself because I'm told there are certain people there who threaten people. You come when we come. You'll see. We have taken the pictures of that hotel. We want to show to the international community how a man tried to occupy Indian Ocean, the water of Indian Ocean. How do you occupy a boundary that God made? Guy who is a grabber, a thief, a neck breaker, he breaks people's necks. Voila! God pokes people's eyes, Mr. Ruto. You have been telling people lies. Oh, and I'm campaigning to change this, to change that. Change what? You are turning Kenya into a commercial agency, like Captain Lugard did. He created the East African Trading Company, and that is the manifesto of Ruto. Some of these Kenyan lawyers, analysts on TV, they don't even understand. The manifesto of Ruto is Kenya's equivalent of Captain Lugard, because he's trading in Kenya. Oh, we shall import this 8 billion, we shall give 8 billion. That's Captain Lugard's dream. Did you know that? Look at Raila's manifesto. Straightforward. Straightforward. If you close the corruption route, Ruto did not mention corruption routes. If you close the corruption routes, you would have got the money that you can pay people 60,000 per month, those who don't have anything completed to eat. Ladies and gentlemen, in this opening speech, I'm taking no prisoners. In this opening speech, I am taking every word seriously. The roads can talk for themselves. Mombasa, where we are, where my correspondents in a few minutes will be live in those places to make sure that they bring you live from Kwale. They will be live in the afternoon session. We shall go tomorrow. We shall be going to Taita Taveta in a farm, an example of the food security. We'll go to Makueni to see the universal health care. We are going to go live to Kisumu to find our young lady by name Gladwell Kiraku, who is right in Kisumu at the port. Good morning, Gladwell. I would like you to test the microphone.
A very good morning to Dr. David Matsanga. Good morning to my fellow panelists. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our viewers, depending on where you're tuned from.
They are not panelists, correspondents. We are no longer panelists, we are correspondents. We have you as a correspondent from Kisumu. Did you eat some fish last night?
Yes, the fish is very sweet, very fresh, and the weather here, it's actually very friendly.
Okay, thank you very much. Across in Kericho, we want to drink some tea in Kericho live. My correspondent live in Kericho, Kiptanui, Savannah. Good morning. Unmute.
Good morning, Dr. Masanga. Indeed, it is a great morning here in Kericho County. It is also known as Green Town. It is a great morning. This place is also cold. Thank you very much for having me. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, all the correspondents in Coast, in Nairobi, and all over the country.
We shall be crossing over to Eldoret later on with Cornelius Omuse, who is at the City of the Champions, the Count of the Champions, who will be bringing us live what he finds out and cover up all those areas. Then Tari, again, we shall be crossing over. Then later on, we can come to Nairobi in the afternoon when we are discussing international relations. This morning, we shall spend the first hour, which we have lost. And I wanted to apologize to you, but usually when the name Ruto comes in my mouth, I become very disturbed about it, and then I went off from my speech. I wanted to announce to you that we shall do infrastructure, the roads. Then we come to the buildings, housing. How people have seen the housing project of agenda number 4. There will be a team live, and I would like now to ask the teams that in the next 20 minutes, you'll leave for your allocations wherever you are. But first of all, we have Tawish, who is already in one of those locations. Good morning, Tawish. Let's begin with Tawish because he wants to move to another location. Good morning, Tawish.
A very good morning to you indeed, Dr. David Masanga and my fellow correspondents drawn from every part of this country. Indeed, I'm coming to you live from Kwale County, just trying to see and witness what President Uhuru Kenyatta has been able to do, especially in this county of Kwale and the larger coastal region. Since he came into power in the year 2013. Today, therefore, Dr. Masanga, it's going to be a very, very interesting kind of discussion. It's going to be a very interesting kind of presentation we are going to have this morning or afternoon, depending on where our audience rather, are watching us from. Indeed, just trying to outline and showcasing what the president has been able to do. Of course, in many occasions, we have had the opponents of, or rather the critics of President Uhuru Kenyatta coming out and saying that he has not done so much in trying to secure his legacy. But the president's legacy is out here for everyone to see, is out here for everyone really to feel what he's been able to do and his administration has been able to do in terms of developmental projects across the country, and Kwale County being one of it. I'm very sure that as we continue with this kind of presentation, of course, via Punchline Africa TV, we'll be able to demonstrate and showcase to Kenyans and to the rest of the world what is it that the president has been able to achieve from 2013 when he came into power and up to now, of course, as he plans to exit the power after the August general election. Over to you, Dr. Masanga.
Thank you very much. As you proceed towards Kwale, we would like to say you are in Kwale as you proceed to do your work in Kwale. Thank you very much. You will come back in the afternoon to be prepared about the economy, the high prices of commodities, all these things the cost of living, we shall discuss it openly without telling lies. You see, Wachikoya at least tells you the truth, that we can export hyenas because nobody likes a hyena. But Ruto does not tell you how he is going to even carry the hyena. So, all of these people, it is only Raila who tells you how you can take the cotton. Raila was very frank, and he told you, Mitumba kills people. Therefore, we do the cotton. And the Ruto came up to say we support the cotton industry. Have you seen that? So what did Raila do wrong here? This guy is just a copy and a paste, copy and a paste. Ruto is not worth it. And for me, if I were a Kenyan, I would not vote a man who wants to turn my state into a mafia state. Gladwell, Kisumu, I believe you have a lot of clips that you have sent to us to the headquarters in Nairobi. And good morning, Miriam, in silently watching us from behind the scenes. I can see you in the headquarters. Good morning, Miriam. People would like to hear your voice.
A very good morning to you and good morning to the correspondent.
Miriam Ogutu, as you prepare to put on your microphone, I know I've taken you by surprise. Your microphone was not on. Good morning. Okay, Miriam, good morning.
Doc, a very good morning to you and good morning to all our correspondents from wherever they are, and I'm looking forward to hearing what they have in store for us today.
Thank you very much, Gladwell Kiragu. Take us through the fish eating and the farming that is taking place there, the infrastructure to the airport. Kondeli, are you near Kondeli? Because I fear Kondeli. You know, in 2018, I couldn't pass Kondeli, but His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga brought a handshake. Now I can sleep in Kondeli without any security. Good morning.
A very good morning, and yes, in fact, I'm actually near, and I had an evening tour, and I can tell you the infrastructure here, it's amazing. I can see it, and I can actually say with confidence that Kisumu is one of the cities that enjoys good infrastructure, the roads, the railway, and the airport, hence making it a commercial, industry, and transportation center at the center of Western Kenya. So I'm proud of what Uhuru has done here. The Kondole Bridge is just a little bit, it's just like 5. It's just near me wherever I am, so I can see it from wherever I'm seated, and I can say that the people here are actually very proud of what about the infrastructure. The people here are so proud about Uhuru's legacy, and I'm confident saying that here the place is safe. And the handshake, Doc, I can say that I'm comfortable because of the handshake. And as you've said, yes, a while back people could not be comfortable here, most if you're not from this county, and also if you're not from this tribe. But now you can comfortably sit here, interact with the people, and feel at home because of the handshake. So that is one thing that we are proud of, because it brought the unity, and that's why people here can visit here. Doc, with confidence, I can say that Kisumu is actually more safe than Nairobi, whereby here you can walk around freely whatever time. You can talk to anybody you wish. You can have your telephone anywhere, and the phones wouldn't be snatched. There's no theft here, unlike Nairobi. So I think also that's something I'm appreciating, and I can say with confidence that Kisumu, within the next years, it's actually going to be a leading.
Kisumu will be a leading town. Thank you very much. Live in Mombasa, in Buxton area, we have none other than the man himself, who does not like to see this hotel near Indian Ocean. And then the gentleman is leaving to go. He will be there in a few minutes, and then he will bring us up to date. But let's go back to the agenda, the roads, the construction of roads across Kenya. One of the things that has amazed me when I come to Mombasa is the way Mombasa has been done, is the way Mombasa has been repackaged, is the way Mombasa is becoming the real Mombasa that we wanted, the envisioned Mombasa. The Mombasa that we wanted to see, the Mombasa that all of us were happy to see. Today, when you want to fly into Mombasa, you know very well you'll not waste a lot of time crossing that bridge from the airport. It is now getting to completion. We are going to go there live later on in the afternoon and bring you all the pictures, the construction of Mombasa port, Mombasa roads. We shall also go through the port, which is very contentious issue, which we need to explain to people. Ruto said was 100% wanting to be part of this port going to Naivasha. But because Ruto hates Ugandans, he hates us, yet he makes money from our place, yet he has hidden all the money in our place. Mr. Ruto, you know I know where you have hidden this money. I know who is your managing director, your director of your companies. But I have not been a bad child to Mwaka like you. But one of these days, we shall tell everybody where the money is. So he hates us. Now Ruto hates the railway going all the way. And they say the port was taken there. Yet he had instructions. He agreed in the cabinet that that port can move there. It doesn't mean you are moving in the water. Mombasa still remains the entry point. What we are moving is congestion, to congest, but an efficiency, because you now have 300 million people to serve. Please remember that, 300 million people to serve. I am myself in transport, business. Trucks spend here almost 2 weeks clearing a commodity. How much do you pay to the driver? Sleeping in a hotel, saying the tire was stolen, or the puncture was punctured. All this one, he lost the spanner. He might even have a family here and stick there for all this time. You pay because the papers are not yet cleared. So if you can have a port that can quickly clear the goods, the lorries in Kampala, 40-feet container in Dar es Salaam, it comes back. Or in Kigali, Kampala, it comes back. That is exactly what we are looking for. We are looking for efficiency. We are not looking for removing the port. The president is not removing the port. And there is another lie that all the port has been sold. I myself, as an investigative journalist, I went to check. I called the company. That company has not bought anything here. They haven't even paid a single dime. So these are all politics of confusion in order to win the votes of the people of the coast. But the coastal people, the few who are here who will take the message, they are not fools. They are not fools. You are not fools. The port, you can't sell the whole port of a country without, surely, which Kenyatta, what would he be looking for? To sell the port, the entire port, and say, then he remained as a Kenyan, surely. Which Captain Eruga did not sell. Surely it is not a very good thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to the gentlemen who are lined up, who are going to bring us for the next one week on the way up to Nairobi. We have started our journey in Mombasa, and we shall be going all the way through Taveta. We shall be going all the way through Kwale. We shall be going through all the way Makueni, Kitui, Machakos, Nairobi, while the other group comes from Kisumu, Kakamega, Nakuru. Another group is coming from Kitale, Lodwar, down. Another group is coming from Garissa, down to where we are. So thank you very much. Let me listen to test the machines with the guy of Dolphin Hotel. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. David Matanga, and also to my fellow correspondents. And Doctor, I'm just waiting for your security so that I can go to Dolphin Hotel, so that the people of Kenya can know what corruption can do, what corruption can be able to do to a nation, and especially the people of Regio Marakwet in Aror and Kimwarel, so that they can see with clear evidence of what corruption has been able to turn their country to, and the projects that the people have been able to invest in. Dolphin Hotel is one of the hotels that were marked by the DCI report, that also got the vehicles that are used by the Regio Marakwet, Senator Kipchumba Molkomen, as some of the projects and some of the assets that were acquired using illegal funds. We cannot talk about corruption. We cannot talk about the corruption of William Ruto without showing the people of Kenya where the man himself is investing illegal funds, where he is laundering that money by building an hotel in this country and in the coastal region. When people are going to be getting to that hotel, remember that you are getting to a hotel to continue promoting and laundering money for the man who stole billions of shillings that was meant for clean drinking water, that was meant for water for irrigation, and all that, Dr. David Matanga. And I'm here live in Mombasa so that I can show people what corruption can do to a nation, what a man can do to a nation, a man that grabbed the ocean, a gift from God. God created the ocean and granted Kenya its bit or their piece so that they can be able to enjoy, so that you and I, people of goodwill across the world, can be able to enjoy the coastal beaches of the Republic of Kenya. But this man has grabbed the ocean. 95% of the world's ocean is unexplored. We don't know what is inside. Instead of William Ruto, who studied botany and zoology, investing in technology that can be able to give us an opportunity to even study the percentage of our waters. William Ruto is reclaiming that and stealing from the people of Kenya the gift from God that was given to us so that we can be able to enjoy with our children. After buying an hotel using illegal funds, this man has invested in reclaiming the ocean so that he can steal part of Indian Ocean and convert it into an inheritance for his own children. Dr. David Matsanga, I have no prisoners. I'm not taking any prisoners on this one. And I have to say the truth that we cannot be able to grab the ocean and then claim to be people that are going to liberate this country in the next 35 days. In the next 35 days, people are going to make a choice between a person that continues grabbing everything that is arable and also converting water into land that he can leave an inheritance to his children, versus a man that has fought for this country, or people like Professor George Wajakoya, who are even talking about poverty alleviation and also moving our country from the debts that we are in and also continue the economy of the country. But for this man who has gone out and converted the ocean and stolen the ocean, the gift from God, from the people of Kenya, you have a choice in the next 35 days to reject him. But today I'm going to show you live photos there, and I'm going to interview the people of the coast. I'm going to talk to the people and ask them to show us and tell us the experience that they have had when the beach was crossed and the man started reclaiming the ocean, a gift from God to the people of Kenya and especially to the residents of Mombasa. Are they going to elect a man that is going to reclaim the ocean and steal it, a man that is going to steal their land? All Ribaritas that are coming to liberate economically, socially, and politically for this country. Thank you, Dr. David Matsanga.
Thank you very much. Our viewers across the world and across the continent and in Kenya, and all the voters watching us, our role is to put facts clear. If you want, you vote the way you should vote. And if we are not forcing anybody to vote against anyone, but we know we want to vote for a person who will keep President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and keep it. The man who wants to bring unity of purpose. You can't divide the nation. You can't bring tactics of a wheelbarrow, of bottom up. The younger people who have gone to school, they were told laptops will be coming. Now you are telling them, instead you have a wheelbarrow, start with 50,000 with a wheelbarrow. What will they say 50,000 with a wheelbarrow when somebody are doing things beyond them? So let's listen to Javan Karanja. Javan Karanja today is our correspondent from Nanyuki, but he's going to report live from Mombasa. Javan Karanja, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. David Matsanga. Good morning to our viewers and other correspondents across the country. It's always a pleasure being on Punchline Africa Television, disseminating knowledge and dismantling ignorance. Thank you very much for having me on the show. I'm live from the city of Mombasa, and the people of Mombasa are so happy for the good job that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done in terms of the mega legacy projects that he has accomplished in Mombasa County, and some mega projects that are almost heading to completion. Therefore, they are very happy, and they wish the next president will continue doing what President Uhuru Kenyatta has already started, so that the people of Mombasa will reap big in terms of businesses, industrialization, and the blue economy, which is a major investment and an area that needs to be exploited in these areas of Mombasa. Thank you very much, Dr. David Matsanga.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That is our first round. And now we want to move to serious interrogation. The question of infrastructure. When people talk about roads, what do roads do? What do the waterways do? The blue economy, what does it do? How many people are going to get jobs in a nearby future if the blue economy is kept blue? Mombasa is from Lamu, Malindi, Kilifi, Kwale, Lunga, all those places down they depend on the marines, the water. But if this water is polluted, there's bound to be a problem. And that's why President Uhuru Kenyatta has been one of the few people who has traveled the world and wide to make sure that he attends all environment conferences. Last week, President Uhuru Kenyatta was in Portugal. He had just left Rwanda. He has brought quite a lot of difficulties, solved a lot of difficulties against the wind, COVID-19. You saw, all of you, that the only man who stood and told you they continued, we landed new towns during the COVID-19, that if you don't, you listen to me. What did the Minister of Health, C.S. Mutahi Kwakwe, there's a very serious saying. Anybody on the platform who knows what Mutahi Kwakwe is known for? I wish.
Yeah, he did say that if you treat this disease normally, it will treat you abnormally.
Yes, that is saying, President Uhuru Kenyatta was saying, stood with Mutahi Kagwe to say, if you behave abnormally, it will also take you abnormal. So it is not normal. So you can see a president who worked tirelessly while his deputy was a ghost worker, earning salary, allowances up to today, coming to Mombasa and doing so many things that we don't want to mention them on this platform. We shall only allow Mombasa people themselves. Our role is to say, and today I want to take this opportunity, youth, I want to take this opportunity to begin not with ladies. I want to begin with the Mombasa youth himself to come and talk like me here, what President Uhuru Kenyatta has done. Come say. And Madam, you'll also talk on behalf of the women. And we are being listened to by millions. You can't even leave the shoes. We are relaxed. Sawa. You are the youth in Mombasa. Thank you. Usikuwe na wasiwasi. Relax. Sema jina yako.
Okay. Good morning, correspondents. I'm Kelvin Ofula Wanjala, commonly known as Rais Manzesi. I'm from Nyali, Mombasa. That's where I stay. Actually, what I can say about the president's legacy is that in terms of infrastructure, the president has done more. We can see all the way from the Gokundu Road, all the way to on the way to. Okay, sorry. We can see from the Gokundu projects and from the highways that the president, what the president has done. We can see the big roads and the big project that the president has done. I can say that in terms of infrastructure, the president has done more.
On the youth, as the youth yourself.
Actually, what I can say is that any youth or anybody who doesn't see what the president has done, it's like he has lost control of this country because it's clear when we are traveling all the way from Mombasa, when you are to Kisumu, when you're moving from Mombasa to Nairobi, you're moving from Mombasa to all the way to Uganda, you can see what president has done.
Yes.
Okay, mimi ninasema kama okay, ninasema hivi kama kijana ukitembea kila mara na unaposafiri yale mambo Uhuru amefanya ni mengi, na wale wenye waoni nadhani tutasema wamerogwa, kwa sababu ukija katika miundo msingi tuseme kama hii Dongo Kundu Road, alafu pia kuna hii footbridge, the Likoni footbridge. So tutaona kuwa hii ni legacy ambayo Rais Uhuru Kenyatta ametuachia, na sidhani kama kuna rais mwingine atajafanya hivyo. Na mimi nasema yule mwenye anaona kuwa ama mwenye aoni kazi ya rais amefanya, tunasema amerogwa, na kwa mtazamo wangu ama amepoteza mwelekeo. Kwa hivyo Rais Uhuru Kenyatta amefanya kazi kubwa sana, na sisi tunaona, na upande mwingine tunaona hii kazi amefanya akiwa peke yake, deputy wake akiwa katika campaign, because the deputy president has been campaigning for 10 years. 10 years campaigning, Uhuru akifanya kazi peke yake. Kwa hivyo tunasema hii kazi amefanya peke yake. Vile daktari amesema hapa, the DP has been a ghost worker for 5 years while the president is working alone. The DP has been complaining much about the government. He has been accusing the government. He has been giving a lot of blame to the government instead of giving solution. If I emphasize on what Daktari has said, huyu ni mtu mwenye ameiba mali ya umma na bado anataka asikizwe na wananchi. Ukiangalia katika manifesto yake alipobuni hivi karibuni, actually he never gave out the solution of how he get the money. Actually katika manifesto yake alikuwa anasema atatenga pesa hii, this billion, pesa hii bilioni kwa kitu fulani, but how will he get that money for those projects that he is saying? Kwa hivyo kama Rais Uhuru Kenyatta amefanya kazi pekee yake kwa muda wote na bila msaidizi, akisaidiwa na mawaziri na marafiki zake wa karibu na rais wetu mtarajiwa wa 5 Raila Amolo Odinga. Kwa hivyo kimimi na kiupande wangu kama kijana, mimi ni kuwa sahihi mkondo tunaofuata na serikali, na itabidi liwe liwalo tuhakikishe kuwa tunampigia Raila Amolo Odinga awe rais wa 5 wa nchi hii, ndio aweze kuendeleza legacy ya President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Thank you very much.
Mambo lingine kuwa tunaona katika sekta ya afya pia Uhuru alivyofanya. Sekta ya afya tunaona hospitali zimeboreshwa na kuna mashine ya kishirikiana na serikali za county. Katika kila county level 4 hospital tumeziona vifaa vipo vya kutosha, na hii ni ushirikiano kati yake na county, na tumeona kuwa there is that access of medical service. There is access of medical service katika hospitali zetu. Kwa hivyo mimi nasema na mimi nasisitiza yule mjinga au yule fala asiona lenye Uhuru amefanya ana maana kabisa.
Anything else on education, employment?
Actually, in terms of employment, the 2013-2017 Jubilee Manifesto was creation for the employment for the youth. Now, after the Jubilee government took over, the Jubilee government, among the jobs that the Jubilee government created, ikiwemo hizi kazi za port, yule mtu mwenye alikuja aka-influence hizi kazi akaziuza, ni UDP, ghost worker, mashamba Ruto. Kwa sababu zile kazi zilikuwa nafanya kwa vijana wa kosi, tuona DP, it's clear, DP alienda akachukua watu kwao, akaja akawapatia kazi. Instead, these jobs they were to be given to the Mombasa youth or the coast youth who are the men ambao ndo wazaliwa hapa. Lakini tuona yeye anaenda anachukua watu kwao, anawaleta, anawapatia kazi port. So hii unaona pia ilichangia pakubwa kushusha the rate of unemployment hii, kwa sababu kama yeye angechukua the 2000 jobs that were created, the almost 4000, sema 2000 jobs, the youth from Mombasa, kama ungepoteza nafasi, at least your unemployment gap ingepungua. Lakini kwa vile alienda akachukua watu kwao, sona hiyo alifaidi, si vibaya kuchukua watu kwao, lakini hapo ndani ya Mombasa bado kuna kina Kiptenoi, hapo ndani ya Mombasa bado kuna kina Kipchoge. Lakini kwa nini yeye alienda akachukua watu kwao akaja akawaletea hapo Mombasa ili wafanye kazi? na still kuna watu hapa. So unaona huyu ni mtu mwenye amekuwa akijaribu kila mbinu, kila aina kuhakikisha kuwa Jubilee Manifesto isiende through. Na ndio tunaona kila mara anajitokeza katika majukwaa anapinga serikali kudhihirisha kuwa yeye ameingia katika opposition officially katika opposition, na yeye amejideclare kuwa yeye ndio next opposition. Kwa hivyo hizi vitu vinajua mnaziona, na vile mnaziona ni jukumu letu sisi kama vijana, ni jukumu letu kama si wa Kenya, tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 jitokeze kwa wingi tumpigie kura Raila Amolo Odinga, kwa sababu he is the only way forward for this country. Na ukifanya makosa hii tunaona ikiuza.
Asante.
Tunaona ikiuza.
Asante sana. Stay there. Thank you very much. Ndugu mpenzi, asante sana. Mr. Wafula. Wafula is the name from my place. I also come from my place in Mount Elgon, Uganda side. I'm a Mugisu like you. You are a lawyer from Bungoma, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, Kandui. Omondu Kandui.
Yeah.
Yes. So haru mara Uhuru mwene Raila mwe haru. Kala. Asante sana Wafula. These are the people we wanted to spread the message, and they will spread the message. So today you become a member of our legacy training. Tutakuwa na wewe spread the message at the coast in Mombasa for forums until we finish this election. Is that okay? Asante sana. Nashukuru sana. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving as we go to our second phase. Kericho, you can see the miracles we are doing down here. And I don't know, Kisumu, you are still smelling the fishes coming this side. And Kwale, my brother in Kwale, you seem to have abandoned the duty somewhere. I can see the pathway on there. And then just look at it. The backstory in Kwale. The Kwale man is back. Thank you very much. You have heard from Mr. Wafula. Wafula is a staunch supporter. He lives here, was born here. His parents have worked here. So he doesn't see why people should report other people when all the tribes are also here, whom you can employ from Mombasa. So this port issue was because Ruto was bringing almost everybody from outside. That's which was not very good, and that's why. And they wanted to take it, all of it, in control. Let's move on to the issue of women. And now I call upon one of the ladies in Mombasa, very active. She's an activist herself, a Jubilee diehard, a ODM diehard, Ozimio diehard. Let her herself, a youth who has been following our legacy in Mombasa, come and speak to us and introduce yourself. Come here. I'll give you the mic. So I can leave you to control the station. Sawa. Endelea sasa. Thank you very much.
Habari zenu wasikilizaji. Kwa majina naitwa Grace Wanjiro. Mimi ni mkaazi wa Mombasa, Jomvu constituency, ward ya Mikindani. Na mimi ni mama mjane kwa muda wa miaka 7. Niko hapa kuelezea mazuri yote Mheshimiwa Bwana Uhuru Kenyatta mazuri ameweza kututendea kwa miaka 10 ambayo amekuwa uongozini. Kwa kweli ni mengi kwa sisi upande wa wamama. Kwanza, wamama wamekuwa wakipata shida mahospitalini. Tunajua maisha yalivyokuwa magumu upande wa hospitali. Mama kuweza kuaccess hospitali nzuri ni lazima awe ako na bima ya afya, ambapo bima ya afya yenyewe ni ngumu sana siku hizi kulingana na hali ya maisha ilivyo. So bwana Mheshimiwa President Uhuru Kenyatta amewezesha wamama kuwaweka kwenye ule mpango wa Linda Mama, ambapo mama anapokuwa mjamzito, siku yake ikifika ya kuweza kujifungua, anaenda pale hospitali, anachagua ni hospitali gani, akiwa ameshajirejista kwenye hiyo Linda Mama, anapata mtoto bila usumbufu na anaondoka hospitali, anarudi nyumbani kulea mtoto wake bila usumbufu wote. Kwa hilo nampa hongera na heko nyingi sana Mheshimiwa Rais wetu. Umeweza kusaidia wamama kwa kiwango kikubwa. Hapo hospitali zetu hizo ambazo tunaweza kujifungulia, kusema la kweli, zilikuwa hali ya chini, lakini saa hii ingia hospitali yetu hii kuu hapa Mombasa Coast General, ni hospitali unaweza ukajivunia. Zamani ilikuwa si hospitali unaweza ingia, lakini tangu waingililie kati, hiyo ni hospitali. Yani kwa kweli hata husumbuki ukisema tunaenda kuingia hospitali kama hizo za malipo Mombasa Hospital Pandia. Haina tofauti. Na hospitali unaingia unapata huduma vizuri sana. Na yote hii ni kwa ajili ya Mheshimiwa President wetu. Kwa hilo pia nampa hongera sana. Lingine, Mheshimiwa Rais ametutendea makuu. Kuimplement hii masuala ya vijana wetu. Amewapatia makazi vijana ambao hawana fursa ya kupata kazi mahali. Mradi hata naona ulianzishwa I think last 2 weeks, kazi kwa vijana. Mimi area ninaotoka ni Mikindani hapa Mombasa. Niliona last week vijana walijitokeza, na nikiangalia manake niko karibu na police station, ndio mahali waliweza kuitwa na bwana DCC wetu. Kwa kweli nilisikia nimevunjika moyo kuangalia ni vijana wa aina gani mpaka wazee wamejiingiza kwenye haya mambo kwa sababu ya kukosa kazi. Na kwa kweli niliona wakichukuliwa, wakijirejista na kuchukuliwa. Na hata usiku wa leo nikielekea kuja huku, niliona wote wamekuwa allocated makazi, watu wataanza kufanya kazi. Kwa hilo pia Mheshimiwa Rais, yule ambaye anasema rais wetu hajafanya kitu, sijui atakuwa ako dunia gani. Mheshimiwa Rais amefanya mengi, ni mengi ambayo hayana hesabu. Na kwa hiyo, kwa sababu mimi si mwanasiasa, mimi ni mama ambao tunaenda tukihubiri amani. Tuna shirika letu hapa tulilianzisha 2016, linaitwa Warembo na Kenya. Nadhani wengi wenu mmelisikia. Sisi kazi yetu ni kwenda tukihubiri amani. Na tangu tulivyoona hizi uchaguzi unakuja, na tukaona unakuja kwa njia mbaya, manake yeye na makamu wake wa rais, tumeona kuna mvutano mwingi. So tuliamka sisi tukiwa na director wetu Madam Sabrina, tukaitana na tukaita wenzetu wa mama, na tukakaa chini. Hivi tumeshajipanga vile tunavyoanza kuhubiri hii injili, watu waweze kujitokeza na kuchagua chaguo lao. Lakini pia hata kama unaamka kwenda kuchagua chaguo lako, uchague ufikirie ni kiongozi gani huo ambao unaenda kuchagua. Ni kiongozi ambaye atatufaa wote kwa miaka inayokuja, ama ni bora tu ni kiongozi. Ni mtu waangalie kiongozi huyu tumekuwa naye ni yapi amefanya, na kwa nini saizi anasema mwenzake ni mbaya ili hali alikuwa ni nzuri. Lazima tujiulize kuna shida gani. So mimi kwa vile si mwanasiasa, sitaki kuongea ya siasa. Mimi nahubiri amani. Yes.
Thank you very much. Yes. Asante sana mama. Thank you very much. I am a peacemaker myself.
Thank you.
I resolve conflicts. Come close. I resolve conflicts in the world. One of my values is to see a person speak about peace.
Yeah.
Because I've come from a background of a very bad situation where I've lost parents because of war, where I've gone out of my country because of war. And Uhuru Kenyatta impressed me on the question of peace. That's why I support him. He did what we call a handshake with his brother Raila Amolo Odinga. Don't forget that ever in your life, that there is no African leader who has won election, apart from Kaunda, who is dead, who relinquishes power so easily. And be careful. If you misbehave with an African leader, when he's still in power, you can do the Trump situation. And they say, I'm not going to hand over. Because if African leader of that nature, like Uhuru Kenyatta, hands over power, shakes hands with his man he was opposing, that leader is a great person for peace. Because you have mentioned the word peace. Azimio means unity of purpose. Without the unity of purpose, hata ima barabara hii bottom up, 100 million, 100 billion, what you are saying, it won't be there. So you have said something very important today live. I hope Kenyans who are going to pick this video, which will go around the whole world, pick it and listen to what this lady is saying from Mombasa. He's not saying on the streets of Nairobi. He's saying on the streets of Mombasa. She lives here. She's not a politician. She was not harassed to come to say, I'm talking politics in favor of so and so. She has come willingly because he loves Uhuru Kenyatta for the peace that we made. Thank you very much. Clap for her again. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether we have another lady speaking. Okay, thank you very much. Now, Miriam, from the headquarters, from those few points, summarize for us, ma'am. Summarize for us, Miriam, as you prepare your microphone. Yes, Miriam, you have heard from my first session, the introduction and the roads, the word, we have touched on peace, we have touched on youth. Summarize for us, madam.
All right. Yes, I've been listening to some of the submissions made by the panelists that we have there. We do know that infrastructural development is one of the Kenya's key economic growth that has seen a lot of transformation since President Uhuru Kenyatta became the president, and also just building on what the former president had already done. And it is one of the integral sectors that he has spent a lot of his energies in and allocated a lot of resources, and you can see the fruits are finally paying up. We can go back to July 2014, and President Kenyatta launched his administration's grand infrastructural ambition to tarmac 10,000 kilometers of roads. That was the plan then, but we have seen him supersede that, and it is on record that under President Uhuru Kenyatta, Kenya has seen more kilometers of roads compared to what President Mwai Kibaki had done, plus what former President Moi had done. And so he has really transformed that sector. And in October 2021, President Kenyatta's efforts had handed Kenyans more than the 10,000 roads. That was in 2021, and of course right now it's more than that. And Lamu County, for instance, now that you guys are at the coast, is gradually turning a new leaf as a real estate investor's paradise with the ongoing LAPSET. We know that has really changed that part of the country, the LAPSET project, which is expected to make the country one of the largest contributors to Kenya's gross domestic product once fully operational, and a section of that has already been operationalized. And to further improve devolution and promote the infrastructure and all that, the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta has implemented various inter-county roads. We've seen it when you travel to the village. Going to my village right now is just smooth and nice compared to a couple of years ago, which, thinking of traveling through the road was a nightmare. So through the inter-county road construction projects, some of which include 585 kilometers, the Mau Mau Road that we know, the single longest road construction project to have ever been commissioned in Kenya since independence. The Trans-County Highway connects at least 6 counties in central Kenya, and the completed construction of the 21.1 kilometer expressway. We've seen that and how that has really transformed the county of Nairobi, and even has improved on our tourism. And you know, it's very interesting because when this was being constructed, and a lot of us and a lot of Kenyans had doubts about, will Kenyans even bother to pay for the toll fees? But I guess the government understands the psyche of its people, because a lot of Kenyans now opt to use the expressway and pay for that fees and pay for the convenience, because they do understand the importance of such infrastructure. And so that has really improved. You don't have to worry about getting late to catching up your flight if you're going to the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, or if you're just coming from that part, because you know it's a very busy road. So that has really eased up the movement of people and goods along, especially people along that along the CBD and from Mombasa Road. And of course, the 27.1 kilometer project is the longest expressway in East and Central Africa, solidifying Kenya's position as a communication and a transportation hub in the region. So that is just a few of some of the things perhaps I could add to what already our correspondents from across the country have given, before we get into the other section of President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much those watching us from home, from across the continents. There are people from USA I can see who said they will not sleep, they will watch. Gladly when I come back to you, Kisumu, the port, arrangements, what is going on tomorrow, this afternoon, you will be taking a walk across the lake. What is new there? What has changed? And the role, what you discuss, I want you to discuss the role of the army, the security men, ex-retired people doing the job better than the usual people. Look at the meat commission. Animals were sold there, stolen from Baringo, sold in the meat commission. Now there is no theft. Are you not happy? Look at that port of Kisumu. If you had given it to a civilian constructor, by now we would be staggering or struggling where the money went. The army, they did a good job. Look at the railway that you used. I'm sure you slept so well and nobody took your phone. There was security in it. Gradually, tell us more. The role of the security men have done a good job. Nairobi, for example. General Badi, the work he has done. I live near a road which used to have a crater, not a pothole. A crater. The car goes down, then you wait for it to come back. By the time you reach your destination, you are tired. Now the road, if the food can fall, if it falls on the tarmac, you can pick and eat your maize. Some of us grew eating maize from the floor. And that's why maybe we are still here. So thank you very much. Graduate, tell us more about Kisumu, please, briefly. And then as Kericho prepares, and as Kwale prepares, and then we come to the top of the hour of the end of this session, and then we wait for other team that will be now live on the spot across the country. Gladwell.
Thank you so much, Doc. And indeed, Kisumu has changed comparing to the way it was for a few years. And for instance, about the city itself, as you're walking during the night, past midtime or wherever night, there are street lights. So that means security actually here is much enhanced. And I've said that theft cases here actually very minimal. When I arrived, for instance, I was scared because it was at 4 and it was late at night. But here I was told that the security security here is so tight. And for instance, Doc, Kisumu being the lakeside county, about some of the things that has made it change, it has completely completed a 600 million ultra-modern Uhuru Business Park market. So we can see that's also an achievement. Hence the renovation of the 216 kilometers, that the railway, which is actually so comfortable, more than using the buses. The railway is very comfortable despite it being the old train, so it's very comfortable. Also in the past decade, for instance, the 208 billion into Kisumu County for the 46 completed programs out of the 78, and Uhuru's legacy have been completed despite the COVID-19 kicking in. And again, Doc, the initiative projects are within the Kenya Vision, the 2030, and actually the big four agendas. Something else that has captivated, made me motivated here is about the health facilities here. They have introduced the new cover, the new medical cover in Kisumu to cater for the disadvantaged members of the community. That is something they're proud of, and the 45,000 households beneficiary in Kisumu can now walk into any health facility and get treated. Another thing about the medical health facility that has made me impressed, they have introduced a free emergency center to manage information flow and coordination for its members. Under something, I've learned a new word here. It's known as Marwa, which means it's ours, under the universal health care. So we are proud about Kisumu. I'm proud about the development of what Uhuru has done. And Doc, I can say that Kisumu is the best county actually, which is enjoying good infrastructure, good health facilities, good industrial and transportation center in West Kenya region. I submit.
Thank you very much, Gladwell Kiragu. We are not letting you to go off hook without telling us whether you have seen any border person there.
Eva?
Do you use border person at all?
Yes, Doc, I used a boat, and I can tell you that it's very safe here. You can actually, when you alight either from the matatu at night or from the train, there are border guys waiting to ferry you to wherever you want. And the people here, I can tell you, the trustworthy. Actually, the people ferrying you from wherever the border guys, actually, they are very honest people. They take you from wherever you want to a particular destination with no theft, with no cases. So I can tell you, and that's why I'm saying I can't quite compare Kisumu and Nairobi at night. I can't.
So I was going to ask that, and you have preempted the answer. Thank you very much. I was going to ask that compared to your place, where they usually take your phones every fortnight. In fact, I've replaced so many phones with you. Thank you very much, Gladwell Kiruga in Nairobi. Kericho, my dear brother Kipunui from Kericho, how are you? Unmute.
Thank you very much, Daktari, for having me in this green city of Kericho. Indeed, this Kericho borders 5 counties, Daktari, and I want to bring you to so fast in terms of roads, housing, agriculture. In this region, there is 100-kilometer road which was constructed between the year 2013 and 2017 that connects to Kericho, Aidnamoy, Kapsoit, Tablotin, Cheborgei, Kibukat Road, Cheblanget, Kapkatet, at a cost of 5 billion. That is 100 kilometers tarmac road. We have another road that is at 6 kilometers from Sigawet, Chepkemel, Kiptere, Sokouru to Soin Sigawet. You remember, Daktari, that this county is broad. This county is their main cash crop is tea. And these roads actually, farmers have tried to reach few farmers around here. They are so grateful to Uhuru Kenyatta for having tarmac these roads. These roads actually has enabled them to take their tea in time. You remember, most of the people here who are growing tea are outgrowers. 80% of the tea plantations around here are owned by the foreigners in England and some other parts. You see, Dr. Matsianka, I want to tell you that people here are so happy with the road infrastructure in agriculture. You see, from 2013 to 2017, the tea prices were down But immediately after President Kenyatta gave this docket of agriculture to Peter Munya, I'm told Peter Munya was here some time back. They have been removed, the brokers who are lowering their tea in Mombasa. And this has actually made these people of Kericho to be so grateful. Another issue is electricity connectivity. The last mile, remember the Cabinet Secretary for Energy, Mr. Keter comes from this county, and 70% of the households in this Kericho County, Daktari, from 2013 to 2017 are enjoying the electricity. They are so happy. You cannot tell them that. I tried last time to ask them, what does Uhuru Kenyatta has done to you? And people here are happy. They are so much shocked that the deputy president and his team are telling them that Uhuru Kenyatta has not done anything. They are grateful. You see, a kilo of tea.
Okay, we have network problems. You connect. You put up the network, then you can come back. Thank you very much. Kwale, as you're parting short as you leave that destination. Kwale.
Thank you so much, Dr. David Masanga. Thank you, our fellow correspondents and those who are making submissions at our Mombasa headquarters. Dr. Masanga, indeed, it's very evident listening to the submissions made by my fellow correspondents about what President Kenyatta has been able to achieve ever since he came into power about 9 or so years ago. When you talk about the infrastructural development, when you talk about making sure that we have universal health care, when you talk about the issue of affordable housing, I mean, I'm referring to the Big Four agenda and the unity that the president has been spearheading all along when it comes to the political front. It is all but what is making his legacy to be alive and secure. This is something that is going to be cemented in the hearts and minds of the people of Kenya, even when President Uhuru Kenyatta exits power in the next 1 month or so from office. And therefore, the question Kenyans should be pondering about, the thing that Kenyans should be so much focused about is who is it that is going to safeguard the interests of the people of Kenya going forward? Who is it that is going to continue with the developmental agenda that the president has been carrying out for the last 9 years? Are we going to vote in an individual who is going to upset what the foundation that the president has already set? Or are we going to vote in a person who is going to have to continue with what the president has been doing? So all this, Dr. Masanga, really lies with the people of Kenya when they make that choice come the 9th of August this year, when they will be going to vote in new leaders. Because again, this is an electioneering period. But what is more important, Dr. Masanga, is let us not be carried out by emotions. Let us not look into this politics from a tribal lens. Let us have, the aspect of looking at the aspect of nationhood amongst the people of Kenya and looking into it that what is it that is in the best interest of the people of Kenya going forward? Is it just voting about the person who comes from the same region with me, or is it about voting my tribesman? Is it about a strong political ideology, or is it about a person who has the commitment, the will, and the zeal to take this country forward? I think this is the challenge that lies squarely in the hands of the people of Kenya as we move into this coming general election, Dr. Masanga. But by and large, President Kenyatta's legacy has been secured. President Kenyatta has been able to live up to his pledge and promise that he made during his campaign period as he was seeking Kenya's mandate to get into power. And therefore, the history is going to judge him fairly well. Because again, he has lived up to the promise that he made to the people of Kenya. So my appeal is that even as he plans to go and retire, the best gift that we can give to President Uhuru Kenyatta is to make sure that we hand or vote in a person who is going to secure and continue the legacy and the projects that the President Kenyatta has been undertaking in this country. I submit that, Tarek.
Thank you very much. That is, as you move to stage number 2, I will be releasing you to go on your route so that you can come back at 2 o'clock to give us the real feel of the crowd that you will see down in Diani Beach and other places. Thank you very much. The gentleman from Likoni, You have moved very fast. You are there now. Nikoni Javani Karanja.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. David Matsanga. And it's quite fantastic being in these areas of Mombasa and exploring what President Uhuru Kenyatta has accomplished for the great people of Mombasa County. And it's evident that a lot has been done, a lot has been achieved, and a lot will be achieved by the subsequent government if they continue working on the foundation that President Uhuru Kenyatta has already laid down here. As I was walking around, I happened to see and to ask some few people around, and they telling me that there are a lot that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done, from the Changamo interchange, Dongo Kudu bypass, and all other mega road networks that have been done by President Uhuru Kenyatta. And the people of Mombasa are happy that they'll be able to carry on their business with ease, because what infrastructure does, it opens the economy by ensuring that there is movement of goods, people, and that is how people interact, and that's how the economy grows, because people are able to transact their business and do other economic growing activities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We shall be seeing that live on the spot in those interchanges and everything that will be from 2 p.m. East African Standard Time when we return for the second session that will see us. Also, don't forget tonight, we shall bring a special program on President Uhuru Kenyatta's international relations. It is one of the sweetest programs that you don't want to miss, how President Uhuru Kenyatta has been able to travel across the world, selling Kenya, marketing Kenya, bringing investors, while somebody was taking 10%. 10% on every Chinese investor who came. This guy blinded us and took 10%. Kick back. And then now, His Excellency, the President, is being insulted. I remember that time Ruto made sure that we are all hated, including myself. I think they did not like me even to say anything here. Ruto was saying what? When we went to Nakuru for the ICC cases celebration, Ruto told Farouk and others that I should not speak, I should not be introduced. Me, who had done all the work voluntarily, sold my cars to go and stand for my African brothers. I was hurt, I broke, and I said, these tears don't go down for nothing. I want to thank a friend, a silent friend, who is never seen. My friend, thank you very much. I think he saw me cry. It's a life story. I think he saw me cry. He called me when I was in Chikope. Is it a place called Chikope? Is it Chikope? Yes, coming back and saying, as soon as I reach Nairobi, my bags, back home. Then a telephone came from somewhere, said, we saw what happened. Now we are aware why it happened. Someone did not want you to. They introduced even people who never even did anything. But because they took over, that time they were the darlings, wearing the white shirt, the red tie, the red everything. The Kina Itumbi did stupid Itumbi. I don't know whether his legs are broken again or what. You know, I am the one who taught Itumbi how to catch a catenary on a plane. Catenary. You know, he didn't know how to catch catenary on a plane. Some of us were taught how to have good manners from our mother's union. Hey, my mother would not see you eat while you talk while you're eating and the food comes. Whether you will be stopped. So it will be, wherever you are, listen to me. I told you not to start writing things about the president. I took you to the ICC. The first time for you to ever climb a plane is me who bought the ticket and even showed you how to put a safety belt on the airplane. Brother, don't do these things. You know that's why they break your legs. You know, if you continue again, they will break them more. You know? I don't know who breaks your legs. Itumbi and Kuria are the same. Kuria, I used to give you lunch. And thanks God for having given me a job in Sky News, where you will never work even if you go to Jupiter or Gabriel. But now you insult Uhuru Kenyatta. That's why you go and import a blanket. You know, electric blanket, when there are women in Africa who can make you warm. It's a very serious matter that the TV knows, surely. Kilagu, you are from Kiambu. You know, you Kiambu men, they buy a blanket, an electric blanket. There are so many ladies in Africa who can make your legs warm. But Korea buys an electric blanket. Surely. And they are busy insulting. Oh, he's here, he's here. You see, by the way, Korea is supposed to be on bed rest. Because I've got his records of the Dubai hospital. I've consulted the hospital. So they don't say how, who is going to stop giving Mazanga evidence. I have a lot of international contacts in Korea. I've been in this world for 67 years. You are supposed to be on bed rest. Now you are forcing those legs again. You are going to cause us funeral arrangements. No, this is what wanataka. Because Uhuru is not tough on them, they go on insulting Uhuru Kenyatta. But we are also going to insult you and hurt you more. You leave your wife, very beautiful wife of Ukuri, and you buy a blanket. You see, that's why God becomes very annoyed. Because you have left a woman who is waiting for you, he has cooked food, you are buying a blanket, an electric one. Buy even a soft cotton wool or wool blanket. But a blanket is electric. Electricity with the blood, they don't match. So Korea, take that message, a cut, you will cut this thing in production. You cut this thing and send it to Korea to hear. Because he knows I was moving with this guy, Korea, but I did not know he had sold witnesses. He had bought witnesses to fix Uhuru Kenyatta. You know, one of the reasons which people are not saying is Moses Korea actually fixed Uhuru Kenyatta. Bought witnesses to fix Uhuru Kenyatta. I think he wanted to inherit Uhuru Kenyatta's money and the things. And you people are not talking and they're insulting the man every day. I know everything now. Not now. When I discovered that Moses Korea went to Ruto and begged, oh, I got witnesses, forgive me. This is when I said, this guy. But I had another extra heart, like a madam there who has just spoken. Heart of peace. Korea was detained for hate speech on Odinga. You know that the entire government of Kenya, including Ruto, switched off their phones. You remember? Korea had no money to bail himself out. Who went to bail him? It's me. I paid him 1.4. The court wanted 1.4. I gave it to his brother. He said, when I come out, don't worry, they will give me salary. The first salary will give. How many years are this now? How many years? 5. Salary. No, they are 7 because that was in the first term, you remember? Yeah, when the relationship between Raila and us was very bad. I went to rescue this bagger here. Bagger, this one here. He's being covered under Election Act. lakini dates ya watu mingi sana. If this election does not go through properly for Kuria, I think he will go to Dubai, that hospital, and pretend to be sick. Otherwise, watu watatamtafuta na pesa zao, wako na pesa mingi ya watu. Me, I've written off that loan. Thanks God, Jesus Christ. You have given me the strength to make more. But the building of Kuria could even collapse because of bad money. So I am just telling you the true story. As we finish live in Buxton, how are you, sir, Mr. Destroyer of William Ruto? How are you in Buxton?
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. David.
Summarize.
I'm coming to you live from Buxton. I want to inspect the Buxton housing project, and later on, I'm going together with your security team at the Ruto's Hotel. The next Sunday morning, he was in a church in Kirinyaga saying that only 7 billion was lost, as if 7 billion shillings is not money that was meant to develop this country. And so much has been said, and people have said that William is a good guy. At 5 days to elections, they have said that there's the money, show us where he has invested the money, in quotes, show us where the trail of the money and all that. But today is that day we are going to show the people of Kenya where William Ruto has invested that money. It is Dolphins Hotel, and I'm going to show the people the ocean that he had stolen. In quote, he had stolen the ocean. He has taken over the ocean and the beach. I could not access that hotel a time like this last year, but today is that day the people are going to see where he has been reclaiming the ocean, stealing the resource from God. This is a gift from God. There is nobody that can claim an inheritance from that. But William Ruto, a man who has no manners, has stolen the gift of God to the people of Kenya. He has stolen the beach, he has stolen the waters and all that, and we shall show the people and interview 3 or 4, 5 people who have lined up near that hotel to tell us how they could not even access the maritime resources in Indian Ocean, because there is a national park, the maritime national park in the ocean. They could not access that because he had grabbed the ocean and taken over everything. But today we are going there after we are finished with the business at the Buxton. We are also coming live from Buxton Housing Project. We are going to show the people where corruption has taken this country and how one man single-handedly stole the ocean, including the beach. He has stolen the beach and reclaimed part of the ocean so that he can build more hotels inside the water. Such a shameless man who has been stealing from the people of Kenya is running to become the president of Kenya. I also take this opportunity to ask the people of Kenya, please, please, please reject that man at the ballot in the next 35 days. He has stolen the ocean, and I have evidence that I'll show you live on this television today. Thank you.
Okay. All right. You have. We have asked the OCPD Mombasa to give us guidance, but we shall go through water which is no man's land, so we can take pictures from the water. Is that okay? Have you ever been in the Marines like me? I was in the Marines, so you know how to swim very well. So we shall be there. I will escort you. Don't worry. Thank you very much. Viewers, Miriam, back to you in the studio in Nairobi. We want to take this break and this lunch, and we shall come back at 2 o'clock with various correspondents coming from. And then don't forget, tonight from 6 o'clock, or 7 o'clock, sorry. Tonight from 7 o'clock, we shall be looking at the legacy of international relations. So the researchers, my researchers, wherever you are in Nairobi, across Daniel and the others, get all the projects, the journeys that President Uhuru Kenyatta has gone, the conferences. We want to see the ones that has brought, which one brought us the best of all. I think for me, I will jump my hand and say, the best of all was to be friendly to Western countries that gave us a vaccine. I don't know. The vaccine, there are some countries that lacked friends. So mine was the vaccine. I like him for having been very good. Trump brought the vaccine. Everybody said, save that guy, save them, save them. You know, my country people are still fighting over, even when people are dying, President Museveni was giving them ugali. And the Ugandans said, ugali, we don't eat, we call it posho. We don't eat posho. Posho is for prisoners. That's what they say in Uganda, ask Wafula, isn't it? Even this Wafula here is forced to eat ugali because he's in Mombasa. But at the border, Moses has been there. So many of you have been in Uganda. You see people eat the food when it is lunchtime. The stomach works out very nicely. The smell, the granite sauce with the fish, which Gladwell is just worried about how he is going to package it. And unfortunately, they are not cooking granite sauce fish there. But when you return, try to book an appointment to with Moses so that I can cook you the fish. I can cook the granite sauce fish so well. Thank you very much. Take your break. Miriam, summarize it for us and send us home. Back to the studios in Nairobi. This has been Dr. David Matsanga. Miriam, another person on several line, live. Tawish in Kwale. Kisumu, we had Gladwell, Kiragu. Kericho, we had Buxton in Mombasa, we had Karanja. The Dolphin Hotel man, we had him in Mombasa. And thank our people, all of them who have been watching this show. The clips are coming out now. They will be on YouTube. You can watch at your leisure. If you miss the fun, coming back at 2 o'clock, we shall be looking at the food security with one of the farmers from Taita Taveta. We shall be passing his farm tomorrow, but today he wants to give us a few glimpses of how to change farming tactics to earn more money, which is agenda the big 4, which is part of the food security. How again Mr. Ruto bought maize from Uganda, filled the maize granary in Kenya, and today he's saying hunger is eating Uganda, Kenyans. The maize that Ruto bought is green maize. You know, you go to Kisumu, you go to Kisumu cereal, national cereals produce board. You will find that green maize cannot be taken anywhere. You can't throw it in an ocean. You can't throw it in the lake. He brought it from Uganda, and you see how I got it. They wanted to hire my trucks. So my driver said, "Sir, there is a good job here." He didn't know that he's telling the man who was been looking. There's a good job here for taking maize to Kenya. I said, go and do a pro forma invoice. Then we can quote them the price. Thank you very much. Thank you. I've done it. I did it and exposed you, saved the Kenyans money. When they brought the forms, I said, aha, who is importing this maize? The principal private secretary of President Museveni, who is the side dish to Rachel. Side dish. Yes. We told Museveni that your principal private secretary does biashara ya magendo. Museveni said, what? Yes, sack. Trouble started from there. We saved the Kenyans billions. King Jury, this guy is here. who are looking for jobs insulting Uhuru Kenyatta. That Kinguri is the one who created this maize problem. Now they are crying of maize. Price has gone up apart. So we shall defend Uhuru Kenyatta on this. How many times did Uhuru Kenyatta even openly, physically, I'm a peacemaker, but Uhuru Kenyatta killed, well, in Kikuyu, what does it mean? You. What was he telling Kinguru that you saw at the SK? You know what he was telling him? He's saying, my friend, this is the last warning. Because of that means. Sasa huyu Muizi anasema, they messed up the agriculture. Who messed up? This how I am. You are a peacemaker, but this is for election. You cannot plant things on me because of election. No. Baba did not mess up that maize. Raila Odinga did not mess up the maize. The people who mess up the maize. We are not telling people to fight. We are not telling people to fight. Who is telling people, vote. Vote and vote a government which will unite Kenyans, not a government that is going to destroy this country, Kenya. So thank you very much, Miriam. Summarize for us and send us home. Send us for break. We want to drink some water and eat some fish from the Indian Ocean. Thank you.
Very well, Doc, thank you so much. I think a lot of the things that our correspondents have been sharing are quite self-explanatory. So I don't think there will be a need for me to go into the summary. But I think there's something we've left out in terms of because we're looking at the infrastructure and housing, and I think there's a key initiative, that is the affordable housing, that we know is just one of the key pillars of President Uhuru Kenyatta's Big Four agenda. And as you know right now, we know the Boma Yetu initiative that is under this project, and so many Kenyans have been wondering how can they own homes in these projects. Some are completed, others are ongoing, and for the record, you don't have to be a civil servant for you to apply for these houses. So perhaps I'll just take the liberty to explain in a minute how this works. Number one, you must be a Kenyan citizen. Number two, you must be over 18 years of age and have a valid national identity card. That's all. When you have all that, you qualify, and you must then complete your profile by submitting your personal details, housing preference, that means the type of the house you want that you're applying for, and upon registration, your details are verified with the relevant government stakeholders for authenticity. And also now, the second part, upon registration, you're allocated a unique identification number, which you will use to make your monthly contribution to the housing fund, and the following contribution schemes are supported. One, voluntary contributor, that is the monthly contributions. They're not capped. They don't have like a maximum, and then voluntary contributions will not be taxed at time of withdrawal if you decide you want to withdraw. And then the second way in which you can start contributing, a joint contributor, spousal or joint contribution can be made towards ownership of one house at a time if you decide to take that as a couple. And there's also an option for applying as an individual if you feel like you want to apply separately. And the statutory contribution per month, the mandatory contribution are capped at 2,500 per month per employee or employer. So you need to know that. And the third process is the allocation process for available homes is done through a very fair and transparent process. And of course, the initial eligibility for allocation will depend on several factors, such as when you registered. So I think it's per first come. So the earlier you're able to register for these houses, the better, because they look at how early were you able to register to be allocated these houses, and of course family status as well as demand across the housing categories. One of the factors they're looking at, and those who do not get an allocation in the initial allocation are then put up on a waiting list to ensure that they get priority in subsequent allocations. And the private sector projects allocation is done according to the terms and conditions, because we know that there are also other partners that have come in to try and help the government in fulfilling the affordable housing initiative. And so far we have about 329,612 applicants, Kenyans who have applied for this. So I do know a couple of civil servants who have these houses personally, and I also do know some people who are just from the Juakali sector and other sectors. You don't even have to be formally employed for you to apply for these houses. So if you feel like you can afford to pay 2.5, which I think is very affordable, that is the total price you're paying for you to be a homeowner in Nairobi, especially. I think that is astounding. So if you're able to do that, and the only contribution you're supposed to be making is 2,500 per month, and you don't have to be a civil servant. So this is your chance. So I think these are just some of the details that Kenyans don't know as far as the Boma Yetu project that is under the Universal Housing project is concerned. And we do know that this is just one of the key affordable housing, one of the key project and one of the key pillars of President Uhuru Kenyatta's Big Four agenda. So I just needed to bring our attention to that, just to add on what the rest of the correspondents from across have already said.
Thank you very much, Miriam. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you, listeners, viewers across the continent of Africa. This is Punchline Africa Television in conjunction with the legacy trend of His Excellency, President Uhuru Kenyatta. And we want to take this opportunity, therefore, to thank you all and to thank everybody who has been listening to our discussion. Thank you very much. We shall be coming back at 2 p.m. East African Standard Time with more details of detailed live inspection of the projects that we have talked about. God bless. God bless. I'm Dr. Amazi. What is the name I was given again? Dr. Amazi. Amazi. Dr. Mazi David Matsanga, a son of soil. Amazi means peace, isn't it? In Libo. Elida, 67 man. Why? I'm going. Oh, Lord. Thank you very much. God bless you, Miriam. Enjoy the headquarters. You are alone now. 2 of you, or 3 or 5. You can always pray to the kingdom of God. And God will answer. Hallelujah. Thank you. God bless. Cut.
A strong commitment to boosting domestic manufacturing, President Uhuru Kenyatta has launched several flagship manufacturing projects under the Big Four agenda. The blend of manufacturing projects launched by the President cut across various manufacturing subsectors, including agro-processing, pharmaceutical industry, textile and leather industries, vehicle assembly, iron and steel, ICT, as well as oil, mining and gas industry. Among some of the key manufacturing projects that President Uhuru Kenyatta has recently launched and which are aimed at contributing significantly to job creation include the 4 billion Kenya shillings worth light weapons manufacturing plant at Ruiru. The plant, which has estimated production capacity of 12,000 assault rifles, is poised to source up to 60% of its raw materials locally, creating a huge market for domestic producers. In April 2021, President Uhuru Kenyatta presided over the launch of nanotechnology and semiconductor manufacturing facility at Dedan Kimathi University. Kenya's maiden entry into the nanotechnology industry underscored the President's grand foresight for the country. According to the industry insiders, global semiconductor and nanotechnology industry is bound to increase multiple-fold in the next few years as demand for artificial intelligence continues to grow exponentially.
This is going to be the future for us to be able to now make our own motherboards, and from making our own motherboards to making our own television sets, to making our own mobile telephones. These are all new opportunities that are all going to be created from this seemingly very small but very critical foundation towards our manufacturing agenda for our republic.
Also significant in a series of manufacturing projects launched by President Uhuru Kenyatta is opening of the Kenya Shipyard Limited in Kisumu City. The President officially opened the ship building and repair yard in May 2021. The facility has yards both in Kisumu and Mombasa and is expected to ramp up building of new ships and repair of the existing ones to cope up with demands for water transport within the Great Lakes region. The facility is also expected to create direct and indirect jobs to the local populations. Both bilateral and public-private partnerships remains vital in ensuring Kenya achieves its manufacturing growth goals as projected in the Big Four agenda, and Kenyans should continue supporting these flagship projects as they portend a better socio-economic growth now and in the future.